Hey everybody, it is Latrice and I'm back at you guys again, EC4G Evolutionary Conversations. I wanted to get into this right away, right off the bat. I want to talk about a disruption of peace. Yeah, that part, right? It is so many of us that instinctually, especially those that are followers of Christ, that will deduct that our disruption in peace automatically comes from the enemy, right? You know, the enemy did this, devil did this, demonic did this, and in all rights, devil stays busy, right? So it is some truth to that. However, all disruption of our peace is not solely lying in the lap of the demonic. Some of our disruption of peace comes from us. Yeah, let's sit in that real quick. Let's sit right there. Have a seat. Get your little lap cover. Sit it in your lap. Get ready to eat on this. I had a friend, and I'm pretty sure that all of us can say the same thing. I had a friend that used to tell me every time she broke up with a guy that, oh, he ain't no good. He just like the last one. Oh, I can't stand him. How do I keep ending up with these dudes? It's the same dude, different face, over and over and over again. I am telling you, it was mentally taxing. And I will sit back because, as a friend, you want to be supportive. But, let me just pin this note right here. Sometimes the best support is truth, right? Sometimes the best form of love is not just holding them down and telling them what they want to hear. That's not love. Love is being honest, right? And so I had to tell my friend, I'm like, I understand, that you're going to find characteristics in every man that you are with. Yeah, they're repeating because you haven't learned the lesson that God tried to give you from the first one. So then you get into another one and it's repeated. And sometimes it's not the other person. Honey, sometimes it's you. Because God didn't tell you that man was yours. God never told you that you would be his wife. You assigned yourself a position that God never had slotted for you. And I think we do that oftentimes. We want to either blame God. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people who do that where they blame God for the decisions that they have made. And it just makes, or they blame the enemy, and sometimes it's really important to look at yourself. The man in the mirror ain't always is going to tell you the truth. All you got to do is look at it. And I think this is really important, is that a lot of times, remember when we were kids, y'all, do you guys remember as children how we would, like for example, I still love trees, but most kids wanted to climb trees as a kid, right? And most kids would not go and tell their parents before climbing the tree because they knew what the parent was going to say. Don't get up there. Either you're going to mess up your clothes or you're going to fall and bust your butt. Don't get up there, right? So to avoid that, what would we do? We would go and do it anyway. We would do it without talking to them first, right? Climb up in that tree, then fall and bust your behind on the ground after doing what you weren't supposed to do to begin with. And what do? What's the first thing that we would always do? We would run to our parents. 9 times out of 10, it was, what did you always hear? You would hear a loud yell, then a cry, y'all, right? And then directly after that, you hear, Mama, right? And what did we expect? For Mama to make it better, for Daddy to make it better. Never mind the fact that we caused the pain ourselves. Why? Because we didn't consult our parents first. And it's no different with us as an adult. We go through life acting as though we already know what to do. We talk about our kids all the time, especially once they hit 17, 18 years old and they start, as I say, smelling themselves, parts start to drop. things start to grow out, and then they start thinking that they a woman or they a man, and you can't tell them nothing, right? You can't tell them nothing. And what do we always say? They think they got the answer to everything. They don't know nothing about the world. Well, it's the same thing for us. Same day, different story, same results. We think we're grown, but the fact of the matter is that we don't know nothing about the world. God created this. This is His. So why would we assume in our arrogance that we got everything figured out where we don't need to consult the Creator first? And that is where we end up shooting ourselves in the foot. It ain't always the enemy that is doing it. Sometimes it is us. God gave us free will. So the enemy is going to do what the enemy's going to do. He going to keep doing what he do because he wants to prove the story wrong. He think that he got a chance on actually changing the end of the story. So let him do what he does. But we are responsible for our choices, right? God gave us free will to make choices. And the choice should always be put God first. Meaning, before you, there was a story that I had once heard about this man. He was walking in the grocery store, y'all. And it was this person that was by him that told the story. And they said that they kept hearing him say, God, should I get this? Should I get this? Well, what about this? And by all means, this person is thinking that he's he done checked out of the loony bin, right? But no, when they went and asked him, what are you doing? His response was, I'm consulting God first. I ask Him about everything. That is what we should do. Ask Him about everything. And then trust Him with the answer. The best peace that we can get, you guys, is found in obedience. I'm going to say that again. And I hope if you didn't get a pen and paper, get it now. Write it down. Get a chalkboard, blackboard, whatever you got to do, and write it down. The best peace is found in obedience to Him. Put God first. Let Him direct your path. There's a prayer that I always say every morning, you guys. I say, Father God, please put your footprints ahead of mine and allow me to step into them and guide my day. And that is what we should do. To exclude Him or wait until we have fell out of the tree to go and consult Him and look for Him to heal us and pray and ask Him, God, do this, do that after the fact is a spirit of arrogance that needs to be ceased, needs to be put out. So I say this today to you guys, anybody that is holding on to a spirit of arrogance and not even knowing it, Father God, release them. Release all of us from the spirit of thinking that we know better than you, Father God. Give us the humility and the insight to know that we are just a pebble in this big pond of life, Father God. And we're so small in the bigger scheme of things, Father. And God, please just lead us. God, light our pathway, Father God. Light it and illuminate it, God. I ask you go ahead of us, Father, because we don't matter. It is you that matters, Father God. And I want to find that obedience, Father. I want that peace that passes all understanding. And I know that is only found in you, Father. So I ask you, God, to please make us small while you make yourself large, as my pastor said, because He is just that big. There's no circumstance, nothing that is bigger than our God. There is nothing that we have before us that God can't handle. But we gotta say, God, you're welcome in. Welcome Him in. Welcome Him into your day. Welcome Him into your seconds. Welcome Him in fully. And then walk it out with Him. Father God, we just thank you so much for everything that you are doing for us. And we ask you to continue to do it, God. Light our path and calm our arrogance, Father. I hope this blessed y'all day. If it did, go ahead and hit a like or, share it with somebody that needed to hear it, because we all, if we don't be careful, if we don't keep that gate closed, he's a crouching tiger just looking for that entrance. He only needs a crack, a little millimeter. He don't need an inch. Give me the smallest little crack. That's all the enemy is looking for to get in. So you have to be constantly on enemy awareness. Got to be constantly looking out for what you are doing, what you are bringing to the table. And if you are bringing arrogance to the table by thinking that you know better than God about your life, honey, you are welcoming in the wrong spirit. Love you guys. Have a blessed and wonderful day.